Hello, 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 hello. So, today we will be doing the first tarot readings for the new year. And as part of that, I have this fluorite wand, which I'm going to be using to just gently brush your energy and going to be pointing at you to fill you with positive energy. The decks that I'm going to use this month, I'm going to use my TaroT Mukha deck, and then I'm also going to use some other Art Nouveau style decks, the Art Nouveau Lenormand, and my astrological oracle cards. And to go along, grab my lighter, sorry, to go along with the purification, we're going to be starting a new year. So anything that you want to leave behind in 2020, just direct it toward the flame. Let's do some breathing together. Breathe in and hold and release, and just release everything that you've been holding on to that you want to let go of. And breathe in and hold and release. Breathe in and hold and release. Great. Great job. Great job. Great job. Great job. Great job. I have this stick of frankincense. Also, I love frankincense. I'm just gonna blow a little bit of this smoke all over you. And if there's anything else, I'll give you one more chance since we're starting a new year. If you have resolutions that you'd like to make, anything that you'd like to leave behind, just focus your intention and release any negative energy into the candle. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. Great job. Great job. Great job. Great job. Great job. Hello, Pisces. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. So, first I'm going to set the stage for your reading. I'm going to pull out the Pisces card and this Sun card and put them here in the first house. And then I'm going to shuffle the rest of the signs and put them around in a circle. So, second house, Cancer, third house, Aries, fourth house, Gemini, fifth house, Scorpio, sixth house, Taurus, seventh house, Capricorn, eighth house, Sagittarius, ninth house, Aquarius, 10th house, Libra. So many people are getting Libra in the 10th house. I feel like a lot of people are looking for parity in their career situations. 11th house, Virgo. And finally, Aquarius also got Leo in the 12th house. That's where I have my 12th house, by the way. So we do take care of Pisces, Sun and Rising. This reading will apply to my Pisces moons as well. But I didn't pull the moon card out because I want everything to be kind of evenly distributed. And I think that this will be sufficient to creating that strong Pisces energy for this reading. But those of you who are Pisces moon, this reading will still apply to you. Alright, so we also have Pluto, Venus, Neptune, the Moon, Mars, Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury, and Uranus. So we're not going to read this part right now, but I do want to point out that you and Sagittarius both had allusions to this Jupiter and Saturn conjunction in Aquarius that's going to be happening on December 21st. So just keep that in mind. Take note. There might be something there for you to discover. Now we are going to lay out the tarot cards on top. And I think I'm going to watch some Frontline as I exercise tonight, if I can find any old episodes on YouTube. I've been hearing that Frontline theme music in my head. Not quite sure what that means. What does it mean? What does it all mean? What does it mean? What does it all mean? All right. Future, goal or destiny, your opinion of the current situation, other people's opinions, hopes and fears, and your final outcome. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. Let's look here. The significator position. You're showing up as a Page of Wands, so there could be some very creative energies that you are looking to bring to fruition. The Page energy is aligned with Malkuth, and it is the point at which those energies are brought down into this realm, the physical space, the earth. It's an earth of fire energy, so creativity, creative spark. Crossing that energy, we have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is about illusions, but it's also about possibilities. Some of those possibilities are real, and some of them might disappear like a puff of smoke when you get too close. Let's look here at the past. So, we've got Virgo in your 11th house, the house of innovation, and also of law of attraction manifestation. Virgo is attention to detail and also analytical thinking. And we have here Mercury, who governs Virgo, watching over this house as well. Ideas. So while Wands can be about ideas, it's more about like a creative energy than ideas. That would be more like sword energy. But here we have this innovative new thinking that's very detail-oriented and also driven by this Mercury energy. This is a swift energy. There's also a lot to do with communication involved We have Uranus touching on the 11th house as well. Uranus, the iconoclast. And Uranus is very tied to 11th house energy. Uranus is over here with Leo, who's in the 12th house too. So Leo being in the 12th house is about being gregarious, being very sociable, having kind of a fiery, bombastic energy. But because it's in the 12th house, there might be an end to partying and socializing, perhaps. We have Cancer in your 2nd house, house of possessions. Cancer has to do with the emotions that you reciprocate with other people. So the reciprocation doesn't have to be equal, and it doesn't have to be in kind. But these are emotions that bounce between you and other people, and that being in your house of possessions. We also have Pluto here, who can bring in death, ideas of liminal spaces. When it comes to your possessions, there might be situations where the emotions that are between you and another person are clouding the waters and creating kind of these liminal spaces that confuse the overall energy. In the past here we have the Two of Cups. This could be the start of a new relationship that happened in the past. It looks like it is a relationship that is still going on. And Two of Cups is usually about a romantic relationship. So this could be this person, and your partnership with them is kind of clouding any kind of potential for the two of you to do business together. But we'll get into that some more as we keep going. Because this is about possessions, it could also be about loaning this person money or taking care of them financially. We'll look at the current situation. We have Venus here, front and center, and she's straddling the 3rd and 4th houses. In the 3rd house, we have Aries. So, Aries is about beginnings. It's about starting new things. And here in the 3rd house, it's communication. So we have an ending of one thing and a beginning of something new. With Pluto here, endings in liminal spaces, and we have the beginning coming in with Aries. And in the 3rd house, that could be communication. It could be short-term travel. It could also be interstate commerce. And with Venus here, it could have to do with some kind of romantic situation. In the 4th house, we have Gemini. Gemini has a lot to do with duality. It could also be that there is a home situation that you feel is very analogous to yourself. So another person who's just like you, that lives in a home with you, possibly. And Venus being tied to that situation as well. We also have your planetary ruler, Neptune, weighing in on this situation at home. This watery energy. That's also a very active energy, very potent energy. He's got this scepter here. So there could be something about that as well. So I'm sensing the romantic relationship, and I'm also getting something here about work life. And your energy overall. And I see that there's a little bit of overlap, but not completely. The card that comes out here in your current state of affairs and is close to your imum celi, which would be your 4th house, is the 4 of Wands. 4th house, 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands can be about marriage. So some of you might be planning to get married. It can also be about a happy ending of some other kind. We'll look back here at your opinion of this situation. We have the Queen of Swords in the reverse. This could be a very unscrupulous person. Somebody who is not afraid to cut up the people around them in order to get what they want. Could be an air sign. And here they're showing up for you in the reverse. Queen of Swords in the upright stands up for justice, for what she believes in. But Queen of Swords in the reverse, as I said, she will cut off people's heads just to get what she wants. The outside opinion. And this Queen of Swords, by the way, doesn't have to necessarily be a woman or identify as a woman. It's just that kind of underhanded, it's a passive energy, but it's also a very cold and calculating energy. So here we have Scorpio in the 5th house. Scorpio is passion and sex, and the 5th house is about romance. There are other things about that as well, but in this particular situation, that's one thing that I'm getting very strongly. And of course, Neptune weighing in male virility, weighing in on this house. We've got the moon over here as well, so it could be emotions. I feel like there's a lot of emotions clouding the actuality of a lot of this situation, and there's a lot involved in this romantic situation, but I feel like it is kind of overwhelming a lot of the rest of your life as well. So that could be something that's going on for you at this time, Pisces. And then over here in the 6th house, we have Taurus. Taurus is a healer. And the 6th house is daily routines and also your health. Taurus can also be somewhat tied to possessions. So there could be hidden health issues that you could be healing. There could be your mental health, but how it relates to emotional states. So things like depression. That could be something that you're healing. From the outside looking in, we've got the the King of Wands in the reverse. This card could be speaking about an abuser, but that's not necessarily the case. This is somebody who's very fiery and aggressive. However, they could be a fire sign. These could be the same person. And as a matter of fact, we do have Gemini in the 4th house. This could be somebody that you're living with. And on the one hand, you see this side of them, that they're very cold and calculating and willing to manipulate and twist people and slice their heads off to get what they want. And then other people see this other person as aggressive and overbearing and possibly even violent. So that could be going on with you at this time. I think that things are very passionate between you. And that's why this person is staying in your life. That's a possibility. I need to draw some more cards about this current situation, because how are we having a happy marriage here with Venus blessing it if this is the person that you're tying yourself to? So I'm going to need to pull some more cards about this. Let's look at the future. Up here in the 7th house, so this is your house of partnerships. It's also the house of open enemies and the house of legal matters and justice. Anything that you're searching for parity, any of those matters. We have Mars over here next to this house too. I just want to point that out. And Capricorn is in your 7th house over here. Capricorn is about using what's around you to get what you want, and can be manipulative. So that would talk about this quite a bit. And especially with this Mars energy being aggressive, being passionate but aggressive. We have Sagittarius over here in the 8th house. And the 8th house is about endings and beginnings. So, with Sagittarius, that could be a cycle changeover regarding an elevation of states. Sagittarius is a Sagittarius. Sorry. Sagittarius is a mutable fire energy, which is very tied to alchemical elevation of the spirit. And so having it here in this 8th house can be death, sex, other people's resources, but it's also endings and beginnings. And we've dealt quite a bit with like the carnal nature of this relationship. And I think up here, also because Saturn is hanging out up here by the 8th house as well. And Saturn can bring in endings. Saturn is about long-term things, concretion, establishment. And sitting here next to Mars, who's very quick and fast and very aggressive energy. Mercury's a very fast-moving energy, but also very ambiguous and very open-minded energy. Mars knows what he wants, which makes it a little more difficult to reconcile these two. There could be an ending to some part of your spiritual growth, or a cycling. All right, let's look at the future. The future. 9 of Swords, nightmares, anguish. The 9 of Swords is all about mind games. Mind games that you are playing possibly with yourself, or someone else playing mind games with you. Let's see what's going on up here. This is your hopes and fears. It's the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. I think you're hoping that eventually you'll be able to start this new business endeavor, but that part of you understands the limitations of the current situation.
and why that might not be possible at this time. It's a little more complex than I usually get with the hopes and fears, but that's kind of how I feel about it. Let's look up here at your goal or destiny. As I mentioned before, you've got Aquarius here in your 9th house. That is the house of your higher states. So education, higher education, long distance travel, spiritual matters, things that you're doing to elevate yourself. And you've got Aquarius here, which is it's an air energy and a fixed air energy. Very flexible, very solution-oriented. And we have Jupiter and Saturn conjuncting Aquarius on December 21st, which is the winter solstice. There could be some kind of actual tangible event that's tied up in that. So watch out for that. I know that this is a reading for January, but December 21st is going to be part of that energy moving forward into the new year. We've got Libra in the 10th house, again, trying to find parity in some kind of career situation. We've got Jupiter here with wealth and expansion, and we have Mercury here with new ideas. So I think that the parity that you're looking for is not with the work situation itself. I think that it's between you and whoever this partner is, and they are muddying the waters as far as your career is concerned. Let's look at the outcome. This is the goal or destiny card. We have the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. And I do think that this is coming for you in the future. This 10 of Pentacles being financial establishment and success and a happy ending, but also the ending of a cycle. Now this card is in the reverse. That could just mean that it's coming in the future, but this could also mean that there's a dark side to this. On this particular card in this deck, you see that there's this figure here who's kind of being presented to the public as the public figure, but this person's actually being controlled by this person back here. I'm picking up a certain amount of possible manipulation in this situation. Remember, this is a general reading, so it's not going to be true for all the Aquarians out there. And in fact, you guys have been really getting like a lot of really cleansing, positive crystal scrying messages, so I'm not sure who exactly this refers to. But it's important to know which energies resonate with you and which ones are going to apply to you. And as I mentioned before, I will be drawing a lot more cards from the Lenormand deck about this particular playing loud chords on my tarot piano down here. We can look at your final destination as well. So, as I mentioned before, Mercury and Virgo over here in your law of attraction house, very detail-oriented goals that you are manifesting for yourself. Uranus helping out with that. But an end to socialization also possibly coming for you in the future. And it's a good card. It's this 9 of Pentacles, also in the reverse. So again, reaching this pinnacle of financial success. So I do see that for you in the future. Now both of these cards are in the reverse, I'm going to pull maybe one or two Lenormand cards just to make sure that what this means is that this is a distant part of your future, that it won't be happening in the month of January, but that it is on its way to you. And that I really need to suss out what's going on down here with this potential marriage and this person who seems like a very bad influence in your life. All right, Pisces. Let's clear some of these things up. I see a lot of really good things for you here. And I think that a lot of them are not even dependent on what's going on right now, but almost a foregone conclusion. So let's find out more about the immediate situation, because it seems a little bit fraught, shall we say. Almost there. Right, so let's pull some cards. We've got the letter. There could be written correspondence with someone. We've got a woman here, so could be a feminine person. Got the scythe, so that's that Queen of Swords. There's some kind of written correspondence with this Queen of Swords. The child could be about your childhood. It could be something new. It could be also about something being much simpler than it appears. We have the garden. This is your social groups. And the mice. The mice is all about eating away, so it could be that this situation is eating away at your social groups. And the stork. Something being brought in. If you are making a permanent commitment to this person, it could be that this ends up being a new development, and that marrying this person is what brings out these parts of their personality, that they then become controlling, and they start restricting you from seeing your social groups. And there is something here about this letter. I'm not sure what this is. That could be even just the fact of having the marriage certificate signed, being legally bound to them. But this is not a ring, it's not the contract. So let's see what else about this letter. There could be, it could be a situation where they're not harsh to you in person, but they'll text you things that are harsh. The whip is about discipline, it's also about harsh things. and can be about abuse. So there could be like, they could be a verbal abuser, gaslighting behavior. So that it's not just strictly a situation where, you know, if somebody hits you, it's very obvious that you need to leave. But if a person is being controlling, and it looks like other people know that they have a volatile temper, it could be that everything gets brought in when you finalize that commitment. Let's look at that 9 and 10 of Pentacles as well, because that is very good news, that you will eventually have the financial outcome that you want and deserve. Deserve, whatever. Deserve is just a word. Certainly not delicious like dessert. I'd rather have dessert than deserve, because one of those things you can taste. See here. Oh, all right. Travel. So there will be travel involved. The birds are about groups of people in communication with each other. So this can be about social media, conferences, meetings, anytime people are coming together. It can also be about gossip, but probably traveling for conferences, and that's going to be the key to you making money, to you finding this success, is you traveling for conferences and stuff like that. Interesting. I do want to find out, is this person going to persist in your life? Because we see a very big disconnect between this 9 of Swords in the future and the 10s, the 9 and 10 of Pentacles up here. So let me just pull a yes or no for this 9 of Swords. Is it going to persist? Let's see what we have here. The Mountains is that it's an obstacle. And the Anchor, you can't go over it and you can't go under it. The only way out of this situation is through. The Anchor is about established situations. So this goes very deep, and it also rises up very high for you in a lot of ways. You're just going to have to go through. Thank you, 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 thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. And until next time, I hope to see you again very, very